Good morning. We start Tuesday's trade by looking at how Asian markets have started off on Tuesday as well as how global markets have performed on Monday. Mind you, Friday, most global markets were in the red, and that's exactly how US markets have started Monday as well. So, all three US indices carrying forward that Friday negativity into the new week on Monday. They've all closed in the red. The Dow was down around 0.75%, actually reversing pretty much all of the gains made through the week on Friday. The S&P 500 was down over 2/3% in trade yesterday and was up, around 0.8% in trade across last week. So reversing pretty much a large portion of the gains of last week. And out of the 11 sectors that the S&P 500 deals in, 9 were in the red on Monday. Not good cues for the S&P. The Nasdaq closed lower 2/3%. So even tech stocks not really left out of this red day, as I may call it, to start the week off. Moving on to how Europe is looking. European markets also started quite choppy and dull, if I may call it. However, they broadly rose. So the DAX closed flat with a negative bias, down 5 basis points. But the FTSE, the CAC 40 and the Stock 600, all three indices were up. The FTSE was up around 0.75% in trade yesterday. The CAC 40 was up around 15 basis points, and the Stock 600 absolutely flat but up around 5 basis points in trade. Moving to how Asia is looking, Asia was under pressure given oil prices just going northwards. The Nikkei was up around 1.6% in trade yesterday. Despite this, the Shanghai closed flat with a negative bias, was down around 1 basis point in trade. The Hang Seng was up around 2% in trade yesterday, and the ASX 200 started the week around 0.25% lower. However, Tuesday has seen all these indices turn in the red. The Nikkei is down around 1% in trade, in early trade today. The ASX 200 is down a further 0.25% in trade after being, of course, 0.25% down on Monday as well. The Kospi is 1.5% down in early trade today. The SGX Nifty futures, which closed around 0.25% higher in trade yesterday, is down almost 0.5% in early trade today. Really not good cues for Indian markets. Moving on to how commodities are looking, the London Metal Index continues to gain. It's risen around 2% plus early on Monday, early this week. Driven by aluminium prices, they've gone up around 3.5%. Copper has gone up 2%, and iron ore is up almost 1%. Moving on to how oil is looking, oil continues to hit multi-year highs, is still at around the $80 a barrel mark in early trade today, as it was yesterday, but it had gone up through the day yesterday and has come back to the $80 a barrel mark. Brent is above the $83 a barrel mark as well. Moving on to how the dollar index is looking, the dollar index continues to rise, up 0.25% in trade yesterday after spending 2 days, Thursday as well as Friday, in the red. The index is up around 10 basis points in early trade today. Both these rallies have pushed gold or have put gold under pressure, as I may call it. Gold is at around $1,750 an ounce. The US 10-year Treasury yields, of course, continue to gain given the dollar gain. The US Treasury yields currently, the 10-year yields are at around 1.612%, as they were yesterday in trade. At this point in trade yesterday, Bitcoin has gained around 2.5% in early trade today and is at around the $56,750 mark. That's a roundup from us on early Tuesday.